yeah, OneSnap's life is pretty much on the line right now. Not a good place to be. But if they do force a third game and Omega wins there, then we have a crazy three-way tie. So basically, OneSnap, this one game is very important. Even if they lose the series, if they win this game, they have a good chance of making the playoffs. So OneSnap really want to win this one.
Yeah, this is do or die for OneSnap. Are you gonna be competing for the $2,000 prize pool for this tournament, or are you gonna hand it over and then fight for another chance 2 weeks from now, right? Because remember, this entire tournament is 6 stages. We're now on the stage 1, $2,000, and then from stage 2 to stage 6 is gonna be $1,000 each every week. It's gonna be very exciting. But a $2,000 prize pool, do they have the chance to compete for that? They have to win this match. If they really want to get out, they want to win this entire series, right? But if they want to have at least a chance of making it out of group stage, they need to win this match. But let's take a look about the ban picks right now. The second game, we do not see a Jing ban. We talk about Jing being one of the most highest win rate hero for the Omega Smart. Why do you think they didn't ban it, D2?
Yeah, I'm not totally sure. It seemed like time lapse here over on our Omega side is extremely strong. However, we saw OneSnap actually picked up Jin, so that's an interesting pickup there. He doesn't actually fit well with their team. Correct me if you disagree, but it seems like OneSnap's team comp is very much dive oriented, and we just have like the Jin sitting in their back. We're on OneSnap's POV at the moment right now, as you can see. Obviously the Zed and the Akali, as well as the Wukong, are just really want to get in there, and Janna supports that as well. But then we have the Jin just kind of doing damage in the back. He doesn't really do damage like in super quickly either, right? He kind of just like pokes at you. So what do you think about? Do you think they just wanted to take the Jin away, or?
Yeah, I think that's just a respect, pick. Like they took it away. I'm pretty sure their marksman player is also pretty proficient on Jin, because this hero being the meta marksman for so long. Even now, it's still a decent pick. So I'm pretty sure like they're taking it as a respect. Also, like we talk about how strong the Omega Smart marksman player is on this hero. Time lapse.
Time lapse. I think it's time lapse.
Yeah. So, but now he's on Misfortune. Personally, I do believe Misfortune is more of a even more meta hero at this point. And then back to your point, OneSnap's composition. They do have some synergy issues, right? It doesn't seem like it's synergized that well. If you look at their opposition, Omega, though, it's similar. It's more
very weird. These are very weird comps. We have a Garen and a Fiora on the same side. What is happening here?
I don't know. Maybe they think Fiora is a really good pick going against Zed. Maybe that's why.
Is she though?
I mean, I do not think so. Personally, I find it like you can, because Fiora early game you can dodge double EQ combo from Zed, so you don't take a lot of poke.
That makes sense.
And then once Zed get the ultimate, you can also parry. And also, for those who don't know, parry not only works against quad controls, parry also just make you completely immune to damage for a second.
Yeah.
So you can parry the second part of Zed's burst damage if that's what you wanted. So overall, Fiora does do really well against that.
Yeah, the thing is, I just have a hard time thinking that Fiora is going to kill the Zed anytime soon. So, whereas Zed can kind of poke at the Fiora for a while. I mean, Fiora just kind of has her one little dash thing.
Yeah.
As far as her damage is concerned, that's great against melee champions, but I don't know how it's going to work against that. You can actually see on your screen there that Fiora is at half health, so not doing the greatest.
Yeah. Oh, seems like a little bit of action here on top side.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to try to get onto it. Timeless gets a little bit of damage. The Fiora actually getting even lower in that mid lane. You can see the health bars on the top of your screen there. So just not doing too well. Not doing too hot there.
I mean, you can only parry so often. More skirmish. Oh. And then the thing is, if you look at OneSnap, OneSnap team composition, they're mainly rely on Monkey's engage. If Monkey is done with engage, they're done, right? They don't have any other engages. That they have like 2 assassins, which is something I truly I'm not a big fan of, because you're lacking so much quad control. The only person that has some kind of quad control is the monkey and is a Janna, and Janna's quad control is more defensive. It's not really like, let me engage with that tornado, you know?
Yeah. What do you? Okay, I was just looking at the action here for a second. So Timelapse used his ult, bullet time, I believe it's called, and
Yeah.
it's on a 50-second cooldown. I guess she was just trying to time it for the potential fight at the dragon. It's going to be up slightly later than the dragon is up, but it was interesting. She just used it on the wave and was just like, okay, we're going to go back. Use it on the wave, going to go back very quickly, have no issues getting back, but now her ult's not up, so...
It's actually a standard practice from a lot of Misfortune players. They do it just because you notice how when he did it is another wave just showed up under enemy tower. He shoved it, and then now you're stuck under tower. You have to clean that, and they can recall and start start buying items. So they're getting a priority on that, and now they come back full HP with the item. They're ready for the next fight. So they just do that for, like you said, just for the wave shoving purposes. They didn't. I don't think he calculated a timer for the dragon. But it does seem like OneSnap want to take advantage of the the cooldown there.
Yeah, if they're really paying attention, they know there's a 15-second difference there. We're taking a look at OneSnap's POV. The Wukong getting a little bit low, has to pop his clone there. It's actually a pretty long cooldown. Jumps back onto the dragon and is able to smite it down. The dragon goes over to OneSnap, but this team fight is continuing here. This Jin is going to jump onto the backline, but not going to get much done. It looks like Fiora is extremely low, but she gets out of dodge. However, the Misfortune and the Braum have died, so it's going to be still a 2-for-1 in favor of OneSnap. Not a bad situation for them at all.
Not at all. On top of it, they also got the Drake. It's a mountain dragon. Early dragon is not that game changing. However, it is really good once we start scaling to the late game. So that's really good win for them. And then I thought they are gonna lose the dragon, because once the dragon pit is on your side, I think we discussed this before. It's actually disadvantageous for that side, for the blue side. Because you have a big cliff, so for you to fight the dragon, you gotta circle around the cliff. Where an enemy, they're facing the dragon pit, right? They can just dive onto you. So I thought they were losing it, but nice, like ultimate over there plus smite combo to secure that dragon.
Yeah, I think what we saw from Blench there is he kind of walked away for a moment. He saw that he was getting low, but didn't want to get too low. Yeah, so you see here, he gets out, jumps right back in. The Misfortune ult actually misses, or so for the most part, it misses. So that allows them to actually pick up this team fight and actually get the damage out of them.
Yeah. Overall, really, really good play from OneSnap. Definitely gave them a huge confidence boost, and they need this boost. Remember, we talked about if they want to make it out of group stage, they have to win this match minimum to have a chance.
Yeah.
And if they win this series,
I'm actually curious. What were you laughing about? What I was like talking about the fight?
I mean,
sorry.
I forgot.
I'm just curious. Okay, never mind.
I have a goldfish memory. So you're asking me like stuff that happens 10 seconds ago?
I thought that might be the case. That's why I wanted to ask quickly. Anyway, we have the engage coming out here from our Fiora and the Wukong.
Wukong?
But sorry, not the Fiora, the Akali. My mistake. I was getting excited because of maybe see some good Fiora play, but it was actually the Akali, someone who's actually a normal pick in these sort of circumstances. The Rift Herald actually gets aggressive on it. I'm actually going to go for this. I didn't really see who was actually low on the other side. It looks like it's going to be a bit of an engage here from the side of Omega, trying to get onto this Rift Herald and trying to pick up this team fight. There goes the Jin. Tries to burst them down, and indeed they do. Down goes the Lee Sin, but in exchange, the Wukong falls as well, as Timelapse is able to take that down. So 1-for-1 trade here. They're kind of going to continue to push in. We still have, obviously, the perspective on the Misfortune here. No minion wave, though. So they're going to be taking some damage. Going to really force this, though. They really want this turret. Looks like they're going to get it.
And also, that's the first tower. That's a lot of gold. Just another thing, OneSnap actually got the Rift Herald. But when you get a Rift Herald, usually it's for securing the first tower. And obviously, really good job from Omega Smart, taking advantage of the opponents being low or taken down, taking advantage of the number advantage and pushing down the first tower. That kind of nullify the huge advantage you might have by trying so hard to get that Rift Herald.
I don't know about you. I just from the get-go, it seemed like a really poor decision there from OneSnap. Like, why were they going for the Rift Herald, an objective that's not that important? They know their opponents on the other side. And they also knew that their Akali was extremely low, and the opponent wasn't low either. So, do you have any explanation for like why they kind of forced that?
I don't know. I think they're forcing themselves into a corner here. It's like drafting. If you draft all the meta heroes, sometimes you might draft yourself into a corner where they don't really synergize. Just because you have a good hero doesn't mean you have a good comp. Like same thing here. Like just because that's objective doesn't mean you have to take it. And speaking of that, it seemed like Fiora got another kill onto the OneSnap's Omega, on OneSnap's Zed.
Yeah, it seems like perhaps we're just having the Fiora go into the side lane now, and perhaps we're just gonna have the Garen joining the rest of the team. Omega's gonna go ahead and start on this dragon, but obviously they're standing right in the middle of Riskler, so they're gonna be in vision. Gets extremely low, down to 1500. There comes the ult out, and it goes to Lee Sin and Omega Esports, and they take down Wukong, and this is a great comeback here from Omega.
Wow. I mean, this is more in line with Omega's playstyle. Losing the first dragon there, I think it was an accident. Obviously, really good execution from the Wukong. Just now, they're taking their beautiful bullet time, laying over the dragon. You can take a look at a replay right here. Laying over the dragon and the Wukong at the same time. So I think that's how they secure the dragon over there. We're taking a look at how exactly the dragon fight went down. And also, Wukong tried to steal it, but his entrance is very, very interesting. He had to jump over. If he couldn't jump over, he couldn't get it.
Yeah, and this for you Misfortune players, this is when you lay out your bullet time just right over both. They can't get both at the same time. While that was going on, the Lee Sin actually got taken out here by the Zed. So, again, just this game is just so back and forth. Started out with OneSnap taking the early lead. Omega had to come back, but now things are pretty even once more. Zed showing his skill here. And by the way, Zed was first pick. Like, not even like first pick on the side of OneSnap, but first pick overall this draft. So interesting.
It's it's do or die now. I think OneSnap just want to really show off their skills. I mean, if this is gonna be the last match, how the viewers gonna remember us? Let's make it memorable, right? Let's go ahead and do something different.
Go out fighting, go out with a bang here, or just win and events in the playoffs. One of the two. In the case, taking a look at the OneSnap's POV and Wukong on the Blanche here, you actually saw the Misfortune pick up the stasis item there. Seems like a nice hedge because
Hourglass?
previously, the Hourglass, because previously, obviously, she built the GA, the Guardian Angel there. So picking the Hourglass instead here to make sure, that she is a bit safe in these fights. But
yeah, you gotta have one. You gotta have one or the other. Frequently, what I do is actually just buy Locket when I have GA, and then if my GA runs out, I'll sell my Locket and then turn it into a Stasis Enchant. This way, you always have some kind of protection.
Okay. We have OneSnap trying to take the Baron here. They have denied vision, at least for it's a tiny bit, but here comes Omega. They have sniffed this out, and they are not going to let that happen. The Baron goes on a half health, but I don't think either team can really take him. Nice route here coming out from the Jhin, but doesn't seem like either team can really take it. In the meantime, a bit of skirmish on the bottom there. Jin's going to go in and try to take out this Garen. I'm not sure it's going to result in a kill, and no, it doesn't.
Yeah. I've tried in practice mode, like I'm full build Zed with Mortal Reminder. And the Garen is under level because of the AI. And I can't kill the Garen with full combat, landing everything.
It's too difficult. Oh my goodness, the Ripskiller gets taken out, but Wukong just immediately gets taken out for his sins there. And we have this fight continuing on. Can't really tell what's going on here. It looks like the Akali gets taken out in the end as well.
They traded Braum. They traded a support.
Yeah, so it's Braum for the Wukong and the Akali. Not the greatest trade here for OneSnap.
Yeah, it's one support for 2 carries. Now, and most importantly, if jungle is down, that's like a huge signal for starting objectives. If you look at Omega's perspective, it doesn't seem like they want anything, but that's a huge win for them.
Yeah, it looks like they're just kind of resetting here for the dragon potentially. It's very easy to kind of throw on the Baron, especially since these death timers aren't that long. But to add to that, it's funny because the Wukong died specifically because he was getting the vision. So even if he dies, he's not going to give up the Baron so easily.
Yeah,
gotta get that vision. Gotta make sure.
The poor life of jungler who have to get visions. Don't you just wish that your team have somebody else who do that job?
Yeah.
The Baron once again being contested.
Are they really going? This is insane from OneSnap. They're just forcing this so hard. The Baron is down to half health. Here come Omega to try to contest it. And again, it's a level playing field. In comes the Lee Sin, but unfortunately knocks him the wrong direction. Has to use the rockets to get out of there. The ult gets popped here from Jid. Just sloppy play from both sides, popping ults that are completely useless here.
Trading skills, right? We call it trading skills or trading cooldowns. I mean, let's see whose ultimate is shorter, so we can use it again.
Let me show you what I got.
Yeah, I mean, yes, we use everything, but don't worry, my cooldowns are shorter than yours. Okay, the dragon.
Yeah, the dragon's getting taken here by Omega, but here comes the contest. They go in. Can Wukong seal it? No, it gets taken down by the Lee Sin, and the Wukong goes down as well. Terrible, just kind of communication here from OneSnap. They are going to try to push onto this turret, but Wukong maybe didn't need to die there in the end, especially since it wasn't an Elder Dragon.
Wow, I mean, again, that's a big Wukong takedown over there. A little bit more action topside, it seems like.
Oh, yeah, look, so the Fiora actually popped the ult onto the Akali, but she gets out of there scot-free, at least for the moment. The Zed gets taken down by the Braum of all people, and that is what looks to be a 2-for-1. Only the Fiora gets taken out there in exchange for the Zed and the Akali. Again, a bad trade here if you are OneSnap.
Yeah, that's Baron play for Omega right here. In fact, let's take a look at Omega's perspective. The Baron's under siege right here.
Yeah, the Baron down to 2k health. Can they pick it up? It actually gets taken down by Omega here. The contest comes in from Wukong once again, trying to kind of save him, but cannot do so as he does get taken out. Wukong actually falls as well. And yeah, not looking too good if you are OneSnap. Now the Baron's going to be pushing against them. They are down in gold, down in, well, even-ish in turrets, but are going to be down in turrets in short order here, as Omega's going to be pushing down with this Baron buff on their side.
That's truly unfortunate. Right now, it's no longer up to you what you can do to win the game. For OneSnap, it's completely under the grace of their opposition, right? Like, how many mistakes is what Omega going to make to give their opposition a chance?
Yeah, that could be the case here. It looks like Fiora's going to try to jump in on the, or was that the Lee Sin actually? The Fiora jumped in for a moment there, backed off after she popped her ult because she was extremely low. The Lee Sin does finish off the kill onto the Zed. As you can see, the misfortune, the Braum pushing into this turret, Braum using his amazing defensive kill just to ward them off. You see Garen pushing into that bottom lane. The mid-inhibitor turret's down. Actually, pushing onto the Nexus. Can they really get this? I think this might be a little bit too aggressive since they are extremely far ahead, referring, of course, to Omega Esports here.
Now they're backing away. Oh, and then this is the thing. When you have a monkey be the sole initiator of the team, it's really, really hard. Like, he has to get vision. He has to get everything. This is why I don't like it. I personally is not a big fan of jungler being the sole initiator. And this is why. This is the game that you see why, right? You put jungle in so much risk. If jungle dies, you lose all objectives. If you die as support and the jungler stays alive, there might be, like, it actually give enemy the threat. Like, at least mentally say, okay, their jungler is still alive. There is a 50-50 chance we lose this dragon. We lose this Baron. But if your jungler is dead, like, there's almost no chance for for you to steal anything.
Yeah, you could argue that, Zed and Akali are ones to, kind of get in on the action at the front lines as well, but they're kind of there to take out one enemy and get out, right? Whereas Wukong, he's usually in there for the long haul. He does have a bit of escape in his kit, but not a whole lot. And usually, he jumps in there, the support jumps in there, they're all in there, they're getting the work done, but in this case, it's been Wukong all by him lonesome. And it's not
I think this is back to what you said, D2, in the early game, where when the game first started. This really comes to lack of synergy in the picks, between for Team OneSnap. They have some good picks, and then individually it makes sense, but when it comes to team fight, speaking of team fight top lane,
exactly. The Lee Sin does go in onto them. The one misfortune is to kind of get out of there. Uses the bullet time, gets knocked up immediately, gets out of that channel, and the Zed is trying to get on her, get lots of damage, but here comes the revenge from Misfortune. Even though she goes extremely low, tries to get on, uses the stasis to keep herself alive. The Wukong has to use the clone to get away. There goes the Akali trying to get the damage, but there's no fear from this Misfortune. Maybe it's because she has that GA on her side, going to be able to take down this turret as well, as Omega Esports is on the warpath. They've already taking down 2 inhibitors. Can they take down one more here? One siege minion. The only thing left, so they're going to go ahead and back off and take that Elder Dragon. And this could be actually the beginning of the end here.
Oh my goodness. Let's take a look at a replay, like how hard it is to kill that, to kill that misfortune.
Yeah, especially when you miss that ability as Akali there. That's the you know, the bulk of her damage, and she was unable to pick that up. Just very unfortunate there. As you see on the small screen and now on your big screen here, the Elder Dragon was taken by Omega. And if they weren't extremely far ahead before, well, they certainly are now. Baron is up. They are up mightily in kills. Unfortunately for them, the Baron is on the same side as the turrets that they killed earlier, but still, they still have massive leads here.
Yeah, this is once again why personally not a big fan of 2 assassin comps, because you can't come back. It's really hard for you to come back. Now, team fights happening once again.
Yeah, it absolutely is. GA is popped here for the side of, I believe that's OneSnap. So able to get 1 GA popped, but the Misfortune has their back, pops the bullet time at the exact right time, and we just have death going left and right. Lee Sin does fall, but in exchange, so too it does the Wukong, the Akali, and the Janna. And I think this might be the beginning. And then can they finish it right here? Looks like they're pushing him on to the Nexus here with a GA on this Misfortune. I think this is all but over. Zed can do nothing. Omega Esports takes it 2-0. And OneSnap go from 2-0, go from being in first in the group to now almost certainly they're going to be eliminated.
Yeah.
Almost certainly eliminated.
Wow. I mean, Omega being one of the last in the group because they lost week 1. Now to the first one to make it out of the group and to go into the playoff. I mean, in playoff, we're definitely gonna have player interviews. We have to interview like to see how they feel right now. This must feel pretty awesome.